I'm a child of the 70s. So I was born in 1969, grew up in the 70s, early 80s, came of age in the late 80s, and then went on to find my way in the world. How y'all doing? Welcome back to the Coffee Q&A. I'm your host, Jay, here on the onocoffee channel every Monday through Friday, talking about coffee, 10 a.m. Eastern. And today's topic is the Fruity Pebbles Cappuccino. And as you probably are aware, moist toenails, how are you? This is Fruity Pebbles. If you grew up in the time of America that I grew up in, chances are you spent your mornings eating cereals just like this. And that's how you started your day. And this is actually my favorite childhood cereal. Which I haven't had a chance to eat in years. So I'm very happy to be able to do this show today so that I can consume myself on this. Now, if you grew up in this area, hey, Darwin, good morning. And Peter, hola to you. You know, you would sit here, if you I don't know if you guys had the chance to, I don't think kids today eat cereals like this in the way we used to back then. But these cereals, they would sit there and you'd eat them slowly. And over time, as you got to the bottom, you would either sit there and talk and eat. And finally, as you can see here, this is no longer just white homogenized milk. This is now kind of orangey flavored milk. And this is the milk that as you would be finishing it up, you would sit there and baby, that's how you'd have your breakfast. And so it was a wonderful time. And here's the thing. So you would have your cereal and you never wanted it to get soggy. So you try to eat it as well, you eat it quickly. But if you had to get pulled away from the table for whatever reason, you'd come back and it would be soggy. You're like, man, what is the deal with that? That's so terrible. Peter says, we have Fruity Loops. It looks similar. We have Fruit Loops here as well. But Fruity Pebbles is my all-time favorite. And I always enjoyed watching the Flintstones, who are the characters on the box. Ever since then, because they were, Fruity, was it Pebbles and Bam Bam were the kids of Fred and Barney. Now, I don't know if kids today even know who these people are, right? I have no idea. I really should be asking my niece and nephew about those things. Anton says, cereal and coffee, that's not going to work. Oh, you wait there, my friend. You wait. How did you guys eat when you were young, Anton, what did you eat for breakfast in Germany? Peter says, totally would. The milk gut cereal. So this is the basic premise behind today's drink. And so this is a drink that I brought out in 2009. So in 2009, I was competing in the United States Barista Championship, and I had this whole other drink prepared. And my signature drink for the competition was something that, here's my biggest problem, right? I tend to get too bogged down in nomenclature and thinking, I get too cerebral sometimes about things. And I'm trying to think of something really kind of cerebral and kind of intelligent. And I'm trying to so I came up with this drink that I was calling Homarus Conundrum. Homarus Conundrum because it's based on the name Homarus americanus, which is the scientific term for the Maine lobster. And I was making a lobster drink with espresso. So Homarus americano, Homarus Conundrum, because it was a drink that I was making that used lobster, used espresso, used all these ingredients. While I thought it was interesting tasting, perhaps compelling, I didn't know if I liked it or not. When I drank it, did I really like it? I don't know. Still to this day, I don't know. I've had judges that scored my drink that still say today that was one of the best darn drinks they've ever had. But me personally, I think it's kind of weird. Keone says, aloha will probably not stay until the end because of, no worries. No worries. Come join us again. Enjoy your trip to Tokyo. Dana says, I am here for the sugary snacks. Excellent, excellent. And Anton says, cereal, cornflakes with milk and sugar. There were also Dinkle Pops and a kind of cereal. I love that stuff. Google says they're called Spelt Pops in English. Oh, I don't know if we ever had Spelt Pops here in America. It might have been. It could have been under some other name. And essentially this is essentially the same thing. Now, I just realized today, I was reading the box prior to me turning on the live stream because I was like, I've never even thought about what this is, like ingredient-wise. And as you can see here, sweetened rice cereal, natural artificial flavor, which I guess makes sense. You know, I'm Asian, Filipino, so rice is a big part of my life, so I like this a lot. Not to say the cornflakes aren't fun, but basically this is basically the same thing as cornflakes with sugar, just has different flavors. In many respects, most cereals, I think, on the market, especially during our time, were pretty much the same. But this is a technique that I'm going to show you today. You can use for anything you want. Any kind of cereal you can use and get, I think, very nice, very fun, maybe not very nice, very fun results. And that's what this drink is about fun. And so, like I was saying, I had this whole thing called Homara's Conundrum. Really cerebral. You know, it was lobster, celeriac. It had truffles. It was all fancily done. It was like, I even used some brandy in there. And I figured, okay, by the way, brandy is verboten, right? It's totally illegal in competition. Any kind of alcohol is illegal. And as an ingredient, right? You can't use it. But you know, I'm a competitor, and I think competitors need to push the boundaries. And this is my belief, right? Like, I'm gonna use it, and I won't disclose it. I was totally not gonna I totally didn't disclose it until much later. But it was kind of one of those things. If you can, I'm going to use it as a flavoring additive, right? To bolster the flavor of the beverage. If you're a judge and you're good enough and you can catch that, I'll take the disqualification. No problem. I won't even argue with you. But if you can't discern, come get me, baby. Come get me. That's really my attitude. My attitude when it comes to competition is that the competitors are there to push the boundaries, right? So when I was playing competitive paintball on the national level, my job was to intimidate the refs. Right? If you're a ref and you're weak, I'm going to intimidate you. I'm going to push against you. I'm going to try to get away with however much I can get away with until you stop me. And as a judge, that's my thing. It's like, we're here to stop you, right? If you're that kind of competitor that wants to push the boundaries, then it's our job to catch you and hold you back, or at least to prevent you from breaking the rules. So this is my thing. Let's see here. Go back a little bit. Ooh, a lot of comments. Excellent, excellent. Anton says, otherwise, it was bread with Nutella or salami. You know, I didn't really eat much Nutella until I was older. Because Nutella here, America's more of a peanut butter world rather than a Nutella world. Although I was eating this Nutella the other day, and I was just like, I have these like rice sticks, brown rice sticks that I got from the guy from Texas that makes the brewer. And they're kind of neutral tasting. They're really good for diabetics. If you're a diabetic, this is a really good snack for you. But like, I was like, you know what? I could use my cousin. She was like, it needs Nutella. And I was like, it does. Let me try that. Peter says, I just made myself a white Lebanese coffee. Ooh, I'm not familiar with that. Do tell more. Do tell more. And did you make it with your Switch? Dana says, I also used, to Anton, I used to smash bowls of cornflakes, which are nice. And they asked, did anyone else like grape nuts? I hated grape nuts. Hated it with a passion. And I don't know why. I just hated it. Not sweet enough. Not like friendly enough. Too crunchy. Although many years later, like about 2005, yeah, let's fast forward to 2006. I'm in Los Angeles. My brother at the time and his wife are living there. We go to this ice cream shop called Scoops, and they have this ice cream called brown bread ice cream. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Like, I think they still are there. I think they still make it. It's excellent. We finally got the guy to tell us what it is. It's brown butter ice cream with grape nuts. Beautiful, beautiful. What I do like now that I discovered like maybe a year or so ago, grape nuts now makes a flake. Ooh, grape nuts flakes. Go check it out. Very good. Also made by Post. Dana says corn checks. Oh, corn checks. For a moment there, I thought it said corn cheeks. I said corn cheeks. I never heard that. Corn checks. That's a good one. Corn checks is a little more neutral. Like when I was young, I really liked the sweeter ones. Like if I wanted frosted wheats, what's the cornflakes that has the that's coated with the sugar? There's cornflakes, and then there's another one that Tony the Tiger. What was it called? Anyway, I like that. The puffy ones, the puffy corn ones that were sweet. I love that. Captain Crunch. Count Chocula was okay. Blueberry, love Blueberry. Actually, we had a big part. We were playing a big party called the Lovers of Booism Unite when I was young, pretentious, and like beautiful. And we were doing a club event, a blueberry theme where everybody got blueberry cereal and milk. It was kind of crazy. It was a good time. Kiona says, I'm going to the Tokyo Bay Tattoo Festival and back to Bangkok on the 6th. Tokyo Bay. Tokyo. I need to go there myself. Dana asked about Kicks. I like Kicks too. I like Kicks a lot. Actually, I liked Kicks quite a lot. But where I lived, for some reason, it just wasn't. The grocery store I went to didn't always have it, I think. So I ended up having more of this. I liked like honeycomb. Loved honeycomb. So there was also wasn't there one that was like peanut butter flavored? There was a peanut butter Captain Crunch, and then they had that Captain Crunch that sometimes had the little like fruit flavored balls in it. Oh. Oh, kava at Keone. Excellent. Keone, are you making your own kava or are you sourcing it somehow? I've only had it at like someone friend's place years ago, but I never. And I know you're squeezing the ava root, but I don't know how they make it. Oh, so the barrel aged coffee is actually in Kyoto, not in Tokyo. So if you was to jump the Shinkansen, you could theoretically go there for a day, an afternoon, and come back by the late evening. But it is kind of far. It's kind of far. Anton asks, what if a judge is a retired alcoholic? Well, he would have to sense it. And then Anton says, I never drink alcohol to begin with. Oh, that's all right. That's right. A lot of my friends are not alcohol drinkers. Actually, I'm not. Despite this, I don't really drink much alcohol. Coming out of retirement, nice. Not like it would be a cardinal sin to feed me that, but I would probably, I tell you what, like if you were the judge, my judge on that competition, and you could tell that there was, like if you sense there's alcohol in the drink and you asked me, I would reveal it to you. Like I wasn't going to lie about it, but I just didn't reveal it in my ingredient. In my presentation, I didn't say that I put brandy in it. And it was actually a part of the componentry that I had actually prepared prior to the start of the competition. But if you got me, I would actually have more respect, because especially in that era, I kept thinking most of these judges do not have the chops to rate. They don't have the chops to like stand in judgment of my greatness. Oh my gosh. So silly, so silly. Peter says orange blossom water with no coffee in it. Strangely enough. Oh, that sounds interesting. So orange blossom water with no coffee. And that is the Lebanese white coffee? Really? Empty heads with us. Good morning to you. Weren't cornflakes originally meant to cause erectile dysfunction? Well, that explains quite a lot. And Anton says, sounds like the usual hardcore Christian mother superstitious myth made to prevent children from enjoying sweets. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And Dana says, I used to mix the grape nuts with milk and then heat it in the microwave and it would get softer, but still crunchy. Oh, in New England. Oh, that's interesting. You guys are a little bit strange up there, aren't you? Right? Kind of wicked strange. I don't know if you, we're talking a lot about Festool lately, right? Like there's this guy that represents Festool in America. He's like their kind of public media guy. Sedge. He is so New England. Like this guy comes on, he's been living in Indiana evidently he's been living in Florida for many years. And then he moved to Indiana like maybe 15 years ago. So he's been out of New England for a long time. But man, he talks with wicked. He's like, his accent, he's got this wicked accent. Like it's super thick. And I'm like, whoa, dude, that's so funny to listen to you, man. It's so awesome. But yeah. Well, I never thought about that, microwaving it. But you see, for me, I don't know what it is, but the grape nuts, I always thought the grape nuts were too crunchy. Right? Like this is good crunch. That was too crunchy. But I'm going to have to give that a try. This winter, maybe I'll give that a try. Get the regular grape nuts. Because now I do like the grape nuts. And I like the grape nuts flakes. So sometimes I mix the two together. But it gets expensive because, a box, these are what, like $5? Holy smokes. It's like when I first moved to Honolulu back in 1988. This was $5 and a gallon of milk was $5. It was $10 for milk and cereal. It's crazy. Oh, Dana likes Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms. Oh, yeah, the Lucky Charms were the go. I forgot about Lucky Charms. Gosh, I forgot about that. After a few edibles, excellent. Mom, good morning to you. Yes, you're right. The one it was Berry Crunch, Crafton Crunch, Berry Crunch. And then Keone says, growing up, our cereal was crumbled saloon pilot crackers with hot chocolate. When older coffee, oh, you mean with older coffee instead of chocolate? Oh, interesting. Oh, when older coffee instead of chocolate and saloon crackers. Oh, that sounds pretty good too. And then you get the oven mash from Hawaii. Okay. Wicked pizza. Yeah, the accents are good. Okay, so this technique, like I said, will work with anything. And so, rewinding. So I did that drink, right? The Homaris Conundrum, which one of the guys, the owner of, what's the place there? Go Get 'em Tiger in Los Angeles is a buddy of mine. And at the time, he called it Lob Spro. I was like, okay. See, so many people so much more clever than I was. Like, Lob Spro, that's a pretty good one. But at the time, in 2009, this is when they started doing these brew bars, right? So they would ask the competitors to come to a separate brew bar where we would serve drinks to attendees. And you can make whatever you want. And I was like, you know what? I made this Homaris Conundrum because this was going to be my final competition ever. But I wanted to do this drink. So I was like, I'm going to serve this at this bar. So it'll be totally different. And that's what we did. We made Fruity Pebbles Cappuccinos because I like cappuccinos. I don't want to make it as a latte. I think as a latte, it's too much, right? So how to make this? Actually, I should have been making this while I was babbling on and on. What we're going to do is we're going to take this bowl and we're going to, and it's really simple. There's really nothing to this. Like it's so utterly simple. We're just going to take, and at Spro, we have a recipe to do this, right? We have a recipe that we can use. So there it is, our Fruity Pebbles, beautiful. And we're just gonna add the milk to it. That looks about right. The most difficult part of preparing this drink is this stage here, because all you want to do is eat it. Now I'm going to take our spoon, and this is a superfluous move. You don't need to do this because it will totally, and that's it. Done. Now we just wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long the idea is that you just wait as long as it takes to actually eat the cereal that you would normally have, so that it's a natural byproduct of the production of your breakfast, right? So what I never really worked out, and we would never, at Spro, we would offer this like maybe once a year for like maybe 2 weeks, maybe a week, but we would never offer it all year long because we want it to be special, right? But what I never really thought much about doing was like, how do we utilize the Crispies after they've been soaked, because they should still have some flavor, but maybe what you could do is take this. We're going to strain it out eventually. So you'll need a bowl and a strainer. And maybe I'll try this today. But after you're done, what if you put it into a pie pan, bake it off a little bit, and then use it as a pie crust? That could be amazing. Marco says, I can smell the cereal through the recipe. Excellent. Let's have a little more look at that cereal. Look at that. That is picture perfect, isn't it? That's picture perfect. What more can you ask for? Okay, we talked yesterday about Heinz ketchup being America. This is America. This is truly America. This is maybe this should be America Week, right? This is America Week. Anton Sear says, if Safe got cereal, see real quick. Nice. And licking the screen. Why not blend it, then steam it? I mean, you could, you certainly can blend it, right? And I never really thought too much about that. But why? But really, why didn't I do this? Because this drink really is about fun and capturing youth again, right? And we didn't blend our cereal. We ate the cereal and then drank the milk, right? That's the whole thing. That's why I never blend. You could blend it. It would add more viscosity. I don't know if it would be as fun to drink, though, if it was blended. And I don't have a blender here at the moment, so. Marco says, would a bald eagle Ooh. I'd probably get like talons in my face trying to do that. Maybe there's a bald eagle beer that we can use. We'll see. All right, so we're just going to wait for this now to do its thing. It's just, and you don't have to wait. Like I think at Spro we specified like let it soak for an hour, which was because we really want to get that infusion into it. But and to do it at home, I would just do this. What we're doing now, just kind of like, hey, we are just doing it real simply. I'm a little bit occluded because before coming to do this show, I spent the morning working on my chainsaw. So like I can smell the oil and the gas and the engine cleaner all over. Like I was like standing here preparing everything. I was like, this is before we came on. I was like, what is going on? Is it on my shoes? It's not on my shoes. It turns out it was on my t-shirt. So I got rid of the t-shirt. And even though I was wearing gloves, I think there's a little bit of residual smell there. But yeah, I've got this 18-inch Craftsman. I was thinking yesterday, I was like, because Matt bought this pruning saw when we were in Pennsylvania last week, right? It's an 8-inch DeWalt 20-volt pruning saw. And I used it over the weekend. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Like if I'm cutting overhead limbs, it's so easy to use, right? So I was like, oh, this is perfect. Maybe I need to buy that. Then here's the psychosis, right? The psychosis continues, right? So $135 on sale, normally $170, right? That's $135 on sale, just the tool only. And I was thinking, maybe I need to, then I was looking online because the DeWalt 20 volt, it's 20 volt. I thought you had to use 60 volt, but the 20 volt actually for this pruning saw worked well. Then I was looking online. They've got a 12-inch saw. That's only like $160, tool only, or $200 for the tool, battery, and charger. And the battery alone is like $170. So I was like, what? $140? I was like, man, forget a 5-amp-hour battery from the XR DeWalt. And I was like, maybe I should just buy the $200. So I was talking to my friend yesterday. I was like, dude, I got 18 chain. Do I need to get a 12? He's like, dude, don't get a 12-inch chain. That's crazy. You don't need that. I was like, you're right. I don't need it. I so need it. No, I'm not going to do it. So I decided, so as I was cleaning the chainsaw this morning, I was like, yeah, I can't justify that expense. I want to justify it, but it would be frivolous. There are other things like Festool that need to be purchased. All right, so we're getting good color. Look at that. Dana says, I think the little bits of Fruity Pebbles would make it amazing. Little bits. So sometimes you'll get a little bit of little bits, like flakes, the whole flakes in the drink itself. Sometimes that's fun. Point was well taken. Peter says you need the customer to pour the milk and coffee themselves because some. So let them have a little amount and then pour as much milk as they want to use. That could be something. Okay, so I think now we've got enough softness here that we can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some scoopage into this strainer. Now there's many ways to do this. You could totally do this however you want. Like I really should be just pouring it. Like let's pour it into the bowl. We're going to pour it into the bowl. Presuming I haven't put too much in the bowl. Now, like with wines, you can press this down, right? Like when you're producing wine from grapes, you can press this down and get more out of it, but then you get more of the fine. So we don't want to do that. We're going to save. This is our virgin pressing, right? This is our virgin extraction. So we're not going to do that. But we are going to taste the lees. It's soft now, of course, because it's been soaking for so long, but still childhood magic. Now we've got our milk, and I don't know if it comes through so well. Here, Peter, there's your piece of extra in there. Now, it is orangey looking. Let's have a taste. Yeah, sweet, fun, fruity. You know, when you eat Fruity Pebbles, it's a non-discernible fruity. It's just a fruity. You don't really know what kind of fruit it is. All right, so we got our milk ready to go. This is going to be our thing. Our milk is done. Now let us go and prepare our espresso. So we're going to go over to the machine. And I've left the machine running since yesterday. And like I always say that I haven't done any shots or pulled anything since yesterday. I'm just going to rinse that out, make sure it's nice and clean. Grind out from the coffee. Oh, it's a bit too much. That's a bit too much. Now I'm wasting money. Let us get so we got a little bit in here, right? There's a little bit of detritus, so we want to make sure that's all out there. Nice and dry. Grind fresh coffee. We're going to pull a shot just to see. Make sure that we're within the parameters that we're looking for. Remember yesterday I said maybe we need to go a little bit coarser. Let's see what happens in this shot. So I have made a mistake. You can see this little bit of dripping that's here happening in the center. That's because I didn't lock it all the way as tight as it could be. Whoops. Making a little bit of mess. Let's come back over here to our Good morning, Craig. How are you doing today? All right, so we've got our shot here. Looks fairly nice. Looks like the color one. We had a little bit of coffee in there. I don't know why that's there, but it looks okay. Let's taste. Oh, yeah. And the Espresso 99 that we've been using. All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. I think that's going to be nice. Let's have a look at our puck. So good imaging here. Compaction is good. Dry, so that's nice. Just a little bit of oil right there. Just a little bit of oil. So, which we saw, we could see that little bit of oilness because there was a little bit of blonding that was happening right over here, right? Peter says, apparently all the color tastes the same in Fruity Pebbles and Fruity Loops, but the colors make you think they all have individual flavor. As kids will either, yeah, I totally will see that. I totally can see that. Like, I think that's pretty much how it is here as well. Anton says, the secret trick of the industry is to punch the machine while it's pulling. It totally is the secret. The only problem with this, the hard part with this machine, right, is that because relatively speaking, what I'm used to, this is a very lightweight machine. Like, I mean, if we look at it, it's not light per se for a home machine. It's fairly substantial, and it does have very grippy rubber feet. But the way that I load it, like I'm putting like 21 grams of coffee into this double shot basket, and because I like it to be nice and full. So when you lock it in, it can be it gets really tight because the coffee is really compressing against the dispersion screen. So you really have to crank it in there, and that extra force really just kind of causes it to move around. Okay, but I think that shot's good. We're going to go with that. We'll see. Be carefully. A little bit more dirt is falling into it. Let's flush that again. We're going to go and prepare our shot. I actually normally like the grinder a little bit further back. Now, that's a little bit heavy on the dough, so I'm going to just a little bit off there. Wipe everything off there. See, this is why I don't like to make coffee at home. Oh, and Anton says, well, yeah, mine is also quite light. I bet lighter than yours. I have to hold it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I will hold it, but certainly there are a lot of the machines that are for the home use are much lighter. Like, I wonder about things like the Meticulous and the Decent, how heavy they are as far as, locking and loading. All right, so let's get to go to this back one. Okay, I didn't feel that as much, so we're going to have a different performance. Or maybe not. Maybe we're going to have similar performance. No, not bad. Not bad at all. A little bit fast. Now it's a little bit fast. Now we're going to stop there. We're going to stop there. Okay, we're going to let that, we're going to bring this over. We probably should have done this faster, but I figured I'll just show you what we got here. So this is our shot, looking pretty decent, a little bit long probably. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 12-ounce pitcher, add the milk to it. Oops, making a mess. Come back to the machine, purge the wand. Problem is, I should have positioned it before purging. All right, here we go. Oh, that's probably too much. That looks kind of heavy. Looks kind of heavy on the foam. Part of me wants to pour a little bit out. All right, and we're starting to lose our crumble. We're going too long. This is what happens when you take a long time to get your act together. Okay, not beautiful, but not as abstract in design as previous days. Something resembling Rosetta. Okay, so there it is. There it is, a Fruity Pebbles Cappuccino. That could be better. Should not have all of this striations. Really what I need is better steaming technique. But steaming technique is poor. And it's also a little bit underfilled. See how you can see the rim? It really should be higher. Let's make it a little bit higher. I've got a little bit of milk left. Oh, it's a tornado coming to attack the Rosetta. Actually, that texture of that last part looks really nice comparatively. Look at the texture. See this splotchiness is terrible, terrible, terrible. What you want is more like this. If you can see this, like here, that blob, and then the petals, they have a really nice, smooth, like velvety texture. That's really what we're looking for. This bubbliness is partially because it's harder to control the steaming on this particular machine. Hard to control because I'm not totally used to it still. But really what we want is, like, see how you can see there's a kind of a sharper line from this blob here, and then there's that like dispersion part, and then there's the nice dark part. If we could get rid of that dispersion part so that the line is sharp and crisp, that's really more of an ideal detail of latte. Latte, you really want to have nice dark backgrounds with smooth velvety foam and sharp crisp lines, right? Really strong contrast is what we're looking for. Devin says asymmetric Rosetta, just like you really. I'm a real life barista, not a latte art barista. All right, let's have a taste of our cappuccino here in the La Marzocco. This is the 80th, I can't really see it, but 80th anniversary cup. Oh, man. It's the kind of drink to make you happy. So it's very sweet, as you would expect. All the sweetness, all the fruitiness has come out of it. It's a fun, fruity drink that's sweet. It's kind of like, kind of like a playful caramel macchiato. It's no better than a caramel. I mean, qualitatively, it's no better than caramel macchiato. This is just hocus pocus. I'm hocus pocusing you, right? I'm using like regular old milk, homogenized, commercial, Holstein cow milk, and then I'm using industrialized rice, sugary, corn syrupy product with artificial flavoring. And I'm mixing with coffee. Arguably, this is worse. This is more of a sham, more of a hoodwink than the caramel macchiato. But it is kind of fun. So that's how we live. But here's the thing. You can, like I said, you could take this technique and use it for any of your favorite cereal, even grape nuts. I bet grape nuts would work really great. Actually, I would say that maybe use the grape nuts flakes because I think the flavor might come out more rapidly than the grape nuts regular. Yeah, fun. I think we'll work with corn puffs, super sugar crisp, Lucky Charms. Any of those things will work nicely. And if you use something like you mentioned Lucky Charms, right? Lucky Charms, what do they make the cereal with? Oats. So, gluten-free. Right? That's why people eat oat milk, right? Yeah. And you might be able to make well, I guess you could make it. Why would you do that? No, never mind. I was going to say, you could make that with water. I wonder, that would be interesting. Lucky Charms soaked in water and then that could be a Americano. That could be. Peter says, before you pour the milk, you need to add 3 tiny drops of food coloring to cause oh, that's a good idea. But do we really want to add artificial flavor coloring to our specialty coffee drink? I'm just joking. Dana says, my mouth is watering. Hey, you give it a try again. Dana's always ready to add a splash of bourbon to anything. That's good. Oh, grape nuts with the oh, that could be interesting. Grape nuts and bourbon. Saloon crackers and bourbon. All right. That's pretty much all I have for you today. Back again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be interesting because I think tomorrow I'm going to have to we're probably going to do something from the road because, again, I've been participating in auctions and buying ridiculous things. I won a couple auctions, one that I didn't really want to win, one that I kind of wanted to win, 2 I kind of wanted to win, but the other one that I really wanted to win, I totally lost. I was totally upset about it. So I've been bidding. I was bidding on this. WETA is a public station here in the Washington, D.C. area, and they're closing down one of their facilities, so they're getting rid of all this equipment. All kinds of crazy stuff was being sold. But I've got a couple Betacam, I got a bunch of Betacam tapes, right? Betacam, the old school Betacam. And they had these Betacam SX machines. I think I got mine for like $60. I was like, whoa, sounds good. And then I ended up mistakenly bidding on an HD cam deck, which I got for $36. And I was like, oh. I was hoping somebody else would outbid me, but nobody else. I guess nobody wants HD cam. Who used HD cam? Nobody used HD cam. Beta, everybody uses Betacam, right? So I got Betacam, I got a Betacam SX deck, an HD cam deck, and they had an old school VHS deck. But the one deck that I really was trying to bid on was the Video High 8 deck, and somebody else beat me. I was like, so disappointed. So tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to be down somewhere in Virginia, so probably do a show from the road. And then maybe we'll do a short show on the road also on Friday, because the next 2 days I'll be on the road. I was supposed to go to Chicago today for the Roast Magazine Roast Summit that they were having, which when they announced this Roast Summit, I was like, I'm going right away. I just signed up right away. I was planning to go. This is way back in February or something. And but so much stuff's going on here that I really just can't escape this week because I've got other family and other engagements going on besides having to go to Virginia and then to this other thing on Friday. And I had to call Connie at Roast Magazine. I said, Connie, I can't come. She's like, oh man. So I said, give my if you have a wait list, give it to anyone that wants to go. Like, it's on me. Let them enjoy the Roast Summit. If you happen to be wanting to go to Schaumburg, let me know. Maybe I can call Connie and let her know that she hasn't given away. She probably has. She told me she had a wait list. So, I mean, I signed up sight unseen. I didn't even know what the program was. I didn't know who was. I just knew it was Roast doing it. So, Roast Magazine was doing it. They're doing it at my friend's place called Fire Dance. They're coffee consultants. They have a shop in Schaumburg. I was like, oh, they're having it there with these people? I'm in. I don't even need to know who the speakers are. I don't need to know what the schedule is. It's a non-SCA program. I'm on the way. I'm ready to go. But unfortunately, now I can't. So now I've got to do other things. And then Friday, we're going to be on the road in Lancaster, PA again, going back up to Lancaster because there is something that I found out last weekend. There's something called the Wood Pro Expo. And it's a really small like woodworking show. And I was like, you know what, let me go check it out. So I'm going to go there for a couple hours on Friday morning. So I'll probably do the show from there. And yeah. Maku says, grape nuts and bourbon. I'll be on the toilet before... You'll be on one bowl before finishing the other one. Not Betamax, Betacam. Different, faster. Although you can play Betamax tapes in a beta machine. Actually, they'll work both ways. If you get the small, so the Betamax, if you guys remember Betamax, right? Betamax was these small tapes that were smaller than the VHS, right? Faster tape speeds, so better quality video. But, you know, Sony didn't want to license it out, so Sony missed out in the consumer market. That's why VHS beat the pants off of it. But beta was always better quality in video. You could take a beta, so Betacam was what professionals use in television broadcast. And the beta tapes would fit in the old big, when the camcorders were huge, right? Remember the camcorders were massive? You'd put the tapes in there. So your 60-minute Betacam tape, Betamax tape, would be like 20 minutes in Betacam. So it ran at like 3 times the speed. But you could take a Betacam recorded tape, put in a Betamax machine, hit the play button. You wouldn't see video because it was running at too slow speed, but you could hear some of the audio. It would be like, and I think the reverse is true. I don't know if I ever tried the reverse where you take a Betamax tape, Betamax recorded beta tape, put it into a Betacam deck. I think it would play. It should play. It would play. I don't know how. Anyway, I recorded back when I was at NYU and all this, doing this other stuff back in the old days. I have a stack of like Betacam tapes that I've been wanting to digitize. I just don't have a Betacam deck. So I was like, $60 for a full Betacam SX deck, like a full editing deck. And these are massive. They're like super huge. It's ridiculous for the home. Like you shouldn't. I've got a U-matic deck here. I've got a couple Betamax decks. But I'll have a Betacam and now I have an HD cam. If you want an HD cam at a good price, let me know. Be happy to give it to you, sell it to you, whatever you want. I just don't know. I have nothing with HD cams. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I just made a mistake while I was doing it. Craig says they will probably post videos of the sessions on their YouTube channel in a few weeks. They've done that in the past. Okay, what did I miss? Oh, are you talking about Roast Magazine, right? Oh, I didn't even know they had a YouTube channel. I'll have to message Connie about that. All right. Well, that's it for today. Give this a try. Whether it's Fruity Pebbles or something else, I'd love to know what you think about it or how it works out for you. Or if you're mixing bourbon or blending it, I'm interested to know that too. So, yeah. Videos from the roast summit. Yes. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I can't go. But like my uncle's death anniversary is on Saturday. One of my really close friends, his going away party is on Friday now. It was going to be Saturday. I'm supposed to be at a potluck on Saturday. I'm like, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, no complaining. Just enjoyment. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and be back again tomorrow. See you then.